Good morning from Grant Tea's coffee shop in Altrincham. We've been following their story throughout the pandemic because they're a small independent. There are lots of those around here and they've survived the past 20 months, but now they're worried about what comes next because think about it, if you're paying more for lots of things coming out of your bank account, it is treats like this that sometimes for some households are the first to go. So let's have a little look at inflation and just how high it's getting. So the most recent data shows that in September, prices went up by more than 3% compared to the same period a year earlier. That's pretty high. We expect them to go even higher when it gets to 7 o'clock with the latest figures. The predictions are that they'll be as high as 5% come the spring. You will have noticed if you buy unleaded petrol that that's soaring as well. The latest numbers is at £1.46 per litre. Compare that to earlier this year when it was a full 50 pence cheaper in January. And when you head out for your big shop, you will have noticed prices going up, specifically snacks, so things like crisps, yoghurt, cat food's another one that soared. On average, we're paying about £8 per week per household more. And second-hand cars, energy bills, of course, we've talked a lot about, and homeware as well, that's increasing, as well as materials if you're doing home improvements. If you've had the decking done in the garden, it will not have gone unnoticed that the pricing of that timber has gone up. It's doubled over the past year. Why is it happening? Well, partly wholesale gas prices and oil prices around the world. Also, we're coming out of the pandemic, so going from the stop to the start is also still having an impact because of that lag in supply chain. Let's speak to Chris, who's the owner here. Good morning. Talk to me about what specifically you're paying more for.
So currently we've already seen price increases in our takeaway packaging and our consumables. That's been the biggest increase we've seen so far. I think it's something to do with the importation, but we're also very big on our compostable packaging, anything that's a little bit greener, which has already seen quite a large increase.
So you're trying to make an ethical decision, but that's being compromised by inflation?
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to do the right thing of what we feel is right as a business and also set the benchmark a little bit and say, you know, this is what you should be doing and this is what we want to do as a business. So that's been a big increase. Prices are going up from sort of 25 to 75%. On compostable packaging is quite high. And
you were telling me you used to buy a cake in for one price and that's almost double now. So do you, when you're selling that slice of cake, are you passing that on to the punters?
At the moment we haven't. I mean, we've just recently last week seen new price increases across all of our products, our food and our drink products. And that unfortunately at some stage will have to be passed on to
So you feel like you're counting down to that. And outside you've invested in a beautiful mural, a piece of artwork showing all the independent businesses locally. The hope is that something like that will entice people more as the belts are being tightened.
Yeah, our message behind the piece of artwork we've put outside our building, which is quite a big statement piece. It's a 12-metre piece of artwork that, as you say, highlights all of the independent businesses on our street. It was done by a great artist called Dave Draws, and it's got a massive hashtag on there about supporting local.
Which is really important, isn't it, as we start to feel the pinch. I just want to introduce you to Angela, who decided why not open a clothes shop during lockdown. What were you thinking, Angela? But just explain why it's meant so much to you over the past year.
Well, basically, obviously, people thought I was mad opening a shop in the pandemic. Everybody was buying online, so to speak. But it's been my saviour and therapy throughout the year. Unfortunately, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in March. And so it's been a source of me being able to put a focus into the shop, share my story with other people, and they've resonated with me as well. So it's just been an absolute dream, to be honest with you. Yeah.
But the challenges around that at the moment, not around the supply chain, you say that's secure, but what are you paying more for?
It is the electricity, as you said earlier, packaging of the carrier bags, things like that. But we do charge for carrier bags in the shop, but we do put that to cancer research, so we absorb that cost as well. So yeah, just generally the price of clothing has gone up a little bit more, so we're absorbing it at the minute, but for how long I'm not sure.
Okay, and that is the message. Thank you. thank you, Angela, that we are getting from businesses. At the moment, they're managing to absorb the prices themselves, but it will not be long before that's passed on to consumers like us, and then inflation then breeds on itself. That's how you can see it happening. We get the latest figures at 7 o'clock, and a warning from the Bank of England. The governor saying already that he's very uneasy about the levels of inflation. One move they can make in order to rein it in is, of course, to increase interest rates to deter spending. It will be unusual for them to do that before Christmas, but it looks like it may well be happening.
We will know